Ever wonder what makes a leader truly unforgettable? It's not just about policies or politics. It's about inspiring a generation, changing the way people see themselves and their role in the world. Today, we're diving into the story of one of the most charismatic leaders in modern history, the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, and his powerful, enduring call to service. Picture this. It's January 20th, 1961. A cold, crisp day in Washington, D.C. A young, energetic man steps up to the podium to deliver his inaugural address. The world is watching, holding its breath. The Cold War is at its peak. Tensions are high, and the nation is looking for a new direction, for a glimmer of hope. What John F. Kennedy delivered that day was more than just a speech. It was a challenge, a declaration of a new era of American idealism and action. In that iconic address, he uttered words that would echo through history, words that are still taught in schools and quoted by leaders today. He said, "My fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." Think about that for a second. In a world where we often focus on what we can get, what we are entitled to, here was a leader flipping the script entirely. He wasn't promising handouts or easy solutions. He was asking for sacrifice. He was asking for effort. He was asking every single citizen to take ownership of their nation's destiny. It was a radical and electrifying idea. He wasn't just talking to the politicians or the powerful. He was speaking directly to every person, listening to the student, the farmer, the factory worker, the scientist. JFK's vision wasn't just about patriotism in a traditional sense. He expanded the concept. He followed up that famous line with another powerful challenge. "My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man." This wasn't just an American call to action. It was a global one. He envisioned a world where nations worked together, where people from all corners of the globe united for a common cause, peace and liberty. It was a message of unity and shared responsibility that transcended borders. But Kennedy knew that words, no matter how powerful, are meaningless without action. His presidency wasn't just about inspiring speeches. It was about creating tangible avenues for people to answer his call. And one of the most significant and lasting creations of his administration was the Peace Corps. Established by executive order just a few weeks after his inauguration, the Peace Corps was the perfect embodiment of his "ask what you can do" philosophy. The idea was simple but revolutionary. Send young American volunteers to developing countries to assist with projects in areas like education, agriculture, health, and community development. It was a bold experiment in public service and international diplomacy. The response was overwhelming. Thousands of young Americans, filled with the idealism and energy of the era, signed up. They were eager to trade the comforts of home for the challenges of living and working in unfamiliar cultures. They weren't soldiers or diplomats in the traditional sense. They were citizen ambassadors, building bridges of understanding through person-to-person connection. These volunteers taught children in mud hut schools, helped build irrigation systems to bring water to dry lands, and worked in health clinics in remote villages. They weren't just providing aid. They were sharing skills, learning new languages, and, most importantly, showing a different face of America to the world, a face of compassion, partnership, and genuine friendship. The impact of the Peace Corps was twofold. First, it provided real, practical help to communities around the globe. But just as importantly, it transformed the volunteers themselves. They returned to the United States with a deeper understanding of the world, a greater appreciation for different cultures, and a lifelong commitment to service. Many former Peace Corps volunteers went on to become leaders in government, education, nonprofits, and business, carrying that spirit of service with them throughout their careers. The Peace Corps proved that ordinary citizens could be powerful agents of change on a global scale. JFK's call to service also fueled another monumental national effort, the space race. When he stood before Congress in May 1961 and declared that the United States should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth, it seemed like an impossible dream. The Soviets were leading in space exploration, and America was lagging behind. But Kennedy framed the challenge not just as a competition, but as a test of national will, skill, and dedication. In a famous speech at Rice University, he said, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard." That line perfectly captured his philosophy. He was asking the nation to rally around a difficult, audacious goal because achieving it would bring out the very best in them. And rally they did. The Apollo program became a national obsession, a symbol of American ingenuity and determination. It required the coordinated effort of hundreds of thousands of people, scientists, engineers, technicians, astronauts, and countless support staff. It was teamwork on an unprecedented scale. Everyone, from the person sewing the spacesuits to the brilliant minds calculating trajectories, understood they were part of something historic, something bigger than themselves. This monumental effort spurred incredible innovation in science and technology, leading to advancements that have benefited us in countless ways, from GPS to medical imaging. But its greatest legacy was psychological. When Neil Armstrong took that one small step in 1969, it was a victory for all of humanity. It proved that when people unite behind a common purpose, when they pour their collective energy and talent into a single goal, the impossible can become possible. The moon landing was the ultimate answer to Kennedy's call to do great things, to push the boundaries of what we believe we can achieve. So, why does JFK's call to service still resonate so strongly today, more than half a century later? I think it's because it speaks to a fundamental human need, the desire for purpose. We all want to feel like our lives matter, that we are contributing to something meaningful. Kennedy tapped into that desire. He reminded people that they weren't just passive spectators in the story of their country. They were active participants, co-authors of the next chapter. He gave people permission to be idealistic, to believe that they could make a difference. In an age that can often feel cynical or divisive, that message is more important than ever. It's a reminder that citizenship isn't just about rights. It's about responsibilities. It's about looking at our communities, our nation, and our world, and asking that simple but profound question: what can I do? The answer doesn't have to be as grand as joining the Peace Corps or helping to send someone to the moon. It can be found in small, everyday actions. It can be volunteering at a local shelter, mentoring a young person, cleaning up a neighborhood park, or simply engaging in respectful dialogue with someone who holds a different point of view. It's about shifting our mindset from what's in it for me to how can I contribute. John F. Kennedy's time as president was tragically short, but his legacy of service is timeless. He ignited a spirit of optimism and public engagement that shaped a generation and continues to inspire us today. His challenge invites us to look beyond our own self-interest and to invest our time and talents in the well-being of others and the betterment of our world. So as we wrap up, let's reflect on those powerful words one more time. Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. It's more than just a famous quote. It's a timeless invitation to live a life of purpose, to be part of something bigger than ourselves, and to build a better world together. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video inspiring, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more stories about history's most impactful moments. Let me know in the comments below what JFK's call to service means to you. Until next time, stay curious.